Holy.
Water.
You see the yellow bit?
Yeah.
We should be down around 15, right?
Yeah. Wow, that's way over
That's just
to the red. Almost.
So, we're talking about buying a property in a hot market in Australia right now, in particularly in Brisbane. As an investor, I've actually flew up to Brisbane from Sydney about 2 weeks ago to purchase my first investment property in Brisbane. And the property market in Brisbane was hot. And it is still hot right now. Regardless where I went for house inspections, it was full of people. After all the house inspections, I actually ended up buying this property. That's why I wanted to share my real life purchase experience with you to help you to secure your dream property in a property market which is hot. Because this property on day one for house inspections alone attracted 26 groups of people, and I was one of them. And what a chance I can secure and end up buying this property from 26 groups of people. And the way of the sale for this property is not through an auction. Most importantly, my purchase offer was not the highest among all the buyers. Can you imagine how I actually end up purchasing this property without my purchase price being the highest? I'm gonna share all the secrets in this video with you. And I was very lucky to have the opportunity to interview one of the top sales agent, Bruce Hutchinson, which I bought the property from. He's gonna uncover some of the key insights about property sales and purchase in Brisbane. Don't forget to watch this video to the very end because I'm going to show you how I actually asked the owner of this property to reduce the final purchase price for $10,000. Now, welcome Bruce.
Hey Bruce.
Hey Daniel.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, nice to meet you. How long are you in property?
So it would be 25 years next month. I started in 1997 in April. So
27 years in property, you must be learned a lot and picked up a lot. And
seen a lot of changes.
Did a lot of changes.
So I was there in early 2000s when we had this massive growth.
Yeah.
But the massive growth was nowhere near as long as what this growth period has been.
Yeah, in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Particularly last year during COVID.
Yeah, so it lasted about 12 months, and that back in early 2000s. Then we had 2006 when we had another jump.
Yeah.
That went for a little while, but the growth wasn't as big as what this one's been.
Yeah. Why do you reckon it's like this?
Oh, we've been undervalued in Queensland for one. Very undervalued. Our rents were lower, and the bank interest rates were higher.
Yeah.
And now we've got interest rates are lower, and rents are gone higher.
Yeah.
So what we're finding, a lot of investors, especially from down south, what they're coming and doing is they're getting a lot more equity in their property, just taking a bit of equity out of their property, separate loan, popping it onto an investment loan, say putting 12 or 14% down. So then they're getting 4% plus return on the rental.
Yeah.
And they're paying 2.9 or 2.8% fixed locked in.
Yeah.
So they're basically mutually geared.
Wow.
Or slightly positive.
Yeah.
And then what we're finding a lot of them do is with their tactics, all the rent goes back into the home loan and just pay interest only on the property they purchased, and they're getting, so if there's 2 working plus your rent, you're getting all these incomes going into your home loan, you're decreasing your own home loan, and you're getting capital gains over time in your rental property.
That's right.
And then should you wish to sort of pay principal and interest down the track, you can, but you can't claim that back as a tax deduction, whereas your capital, you get your growth there, and then people will just reinvest in that have bought 2 years ago, the market's gone up 200,000 out this way, and then taking equity out of that and buying another property. So it's
crazy.
It's crazy.
It's rolling the ball.
It does. But rental prices have really grown. It's very difficult to
How
find
many
rentals.
properties on average like you sell per year?
Me, probably 40 to 50.
40 to 50?
Yeah.
Wow, that's average.
Nearly just under 1 a week.
4 or 5 a month?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
Yeah, obviously you sold this one to me
this
week.
It was basically went on the market Friday, and you flew up and had a look on Saturday.
Yeah, that's right.
We did one more open home on the Monday night, and then we presented all the offers.
Yeah, you know, that's what's crazy, like on Saturday open home first time, 24 hours, like within 24 hours.
26 groups, the rain were
26 groups?
26 groups.
I thought it was just more than 10, 26.
26 registered buyers came through.
Wow.
And so there was, and the weather, I mean, it lowered a little bit, but there was a lot of water around.
Yeah.
We had the flooding. So I drove over there's obviously we can get in here, no problems, but there was a little creek over there on Saturday.
Yeah.
You could drive over it.
Yeah.
And by Monday night,
Yeah.
it was that high.
Wow.
But this is not the flood zone.
What do you reckon, like, I'm doing well in terms of securing this property compared with others?
Yeah.
Obviously, 26 group of people came in,
Yep.
and obviously most of them want to buy the property.
Yeah, look, it was a multiple offer.
Yeah.
You negotiated really well.
Yeah.
There wasn't a higher offer than yours, but you had a cash contract, so
Yeah.
there's no finance.
Yeah.
And to your conditions,
Yeah.
people will accept a cash offer and that gives you a little bit of negotiation sometimes.
Yeah.
So that got you over the line with this one. But since I've spoken to you, I've had other buyers ring out wanting to pay more than what you paid already this week.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, I think you strike while the iron's hot and you did well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so
I believe a lot of other buyers who actually inspect the home, they want to purchase,
Yeah.
and they're willing to pay more price.
Yeah.
And for me, I was uncertain because I don't know the way you work, how you
Yeah.
sell the property.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more about asking questions around the process, how you sell the property.
Correct.
And then find out at what point, at what timing,
Yes.
I put an offer
Yes.
in,
Yep.
and then at what conditions.
Correct.
So that's, I guess, I've done well
Yeah.
around those points.
Yeah, your communication was very good. So as a buyer, I commend you because you did ask a lot of questions to me as the agent, and you're
Yeah.
very clear and concise.
Yeah.
So, and you put timelines on things as when this is happening, so you knew
Yeah.
where it was.
Yeah.
So your communication was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helps with the agent processing when he's talking to the owner as well.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, obviously, as agents, you do want a fast turnaround for different properties. So
Yeah.
what do you actually care most when you sell a property, when it comes to selling a property?
So what we find in this market, which is different to what it was,
Yeah.
is we try and keep the property on the market a little bit longer just so we can at least make sure we've got all the buyers through.
Yeah.
Obviously we work for the seller because the seller pays us, so we try and get the most for them.
Yeah.
So obviously the process for us with this one,
Yeah.
we only got on the market Friday, but we did an open on Saturday and then another one on Monday to make sure all the buyers that were currently sort of looking
Yeah.
had the opportunity at that particular time to get through the property, and the owner could sort of make an educated decision because there were multiple offers.
Yeah, yeah. Is that most of the owners wants to sell their property if they have enough people come through, or actually some of them?
Somewhat like some agents, auctions in Queensland are starting to grow. It hasn't been as popular as it is down south, especially in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But auctions are starting to come in. But with that process, it keeps the property on the market a bit longer.
Yeah.
Whereas our process, if we marketed this one without a price, but I was able to give the buyers an indication.
Yeah.
And then through the process of getting some offers, I was able to sort of give a bit more direction to buyers of, you know, that where they had to be competitive to be in the marketplace without sort of telling other people's business.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's through communication. But look, sometimes I do tenders, a closed tender where we won't accept offers until a 2-week period.
Yeah, yeah, that does happen.
Yeah.
Some agents and some.
Yeah, some do best offer buy. There's
Yeah.
lots of different marketing techniques. For example, this one was a priority sale, meaning that we're sort of trying to look at all the offers in a short space of time.
Yeah.
But one of the agents in this area hadn't heard of that name. What's a priority sale?
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, so it's just a marketing technique without a price.
Yeah.
There's a lot of buy negotiation here at the moment.
Yeah.
Submittal offers, but what buyers want is some direction from the agent.
Yeah.
Sort of whereabouts, question to ask, whereabouts is this sort of on, so for example, domain or realestate.com, have you got a sort of price point direction on that? And hopefully they will give you some help there,
Yeah.
because I do find from buyers they're frustrated if they can't get some sort of direction, because all they want to do is buy a property.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when the agent sort of doesn't help them sort of purchase a property, there is frustration.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, around the area, some streets, the property is well over 600, well, whereas some other streets has below 500 or 400.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Oh, look, I think sometimes it's to do with the size of land.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got a lot to do with it. Sometimes it can be marketing from the agent too.
Yeah.
And the fact is the market since October last year to now we're in sort of March, there's been probably a $30,000 or $40,000 jump. So all the houses that have settled in, say, January may have sold a month before, 2 months before, so the prices aren't relative to what they are today because they're not indicative of what the market is now selling. So the problem is that month by month in this market the prices are increasing, so it is hard to gauge where the market is when you're in an upward trend. Because you say, oh, that one sold for that, and I said, yeah, that was 2 months ago.
That's right.
That's 2 months ago. So yeah, it's always beware.
Market changing so quick.
Yeah, so beware of when the properties did actually sell to when they settle as they put through as a sold, because that may not be where the market is. So it's a little bit tricky. You have to be really onto it and know what the market is. Otherwise, you put offers in and you go, oh, I missed that by 20,000.
That's right. I increased this offer to purchase this property by 20,000.
And
otherwise, I would have missed that.
You would have missed out. So it was very good negotiating by you.
I wasn't quite sure how much should I increase. Instead of you asking me the question, I should ask you back the question. What do you reckon I should increase the offer to?
And that's a tricky part, because then I've got 3 other offers being presented and I can't be favouring one to the other. I have to sort of say, look, put your best offer in, because you may or may not get another opportunity. What would happen if what happened? We had 2 offers again the same. Then I would have come back and said, hey, listen. Last chance here, definitely sure, but we didn't have to do that because your conditions were stronger, and we've made a negotiation from your initial offer.
Because I wasn't in the top 2, right?
No.
But
as a courtesy to me.
Because I asked for that.
As a courtesy, you asked me to come back to you, and I did give you the opportunity, along with the other 2, to increase, which is what happened. And the increases in the negotiations were strong that you purchased the property. Which is a good result, because it is hard to buy a property in this market.
It is. We actually started looking for property since after New Year. In the South Coast in New South Wales. And couldn't secure any property over there. That's why we shipped the market over here, and first inspection on Saturday and came here and found this one, and we like to just buy it straight away. I know given the weather condition on Saturday was raining, and also heaps of people came through. I know the market here is definitely hotter than down in South Wales.
It's really hot around here. It's really hot. There's a lot of buyers trying to get in.
So most buyers around the area or in Brisbane are from local Brisbane, or
we're finding this year there's been a lot of interstate, buyers competing with our local buyers, and that's what sort of, because the investors can get a good return. And they can see the growth is here, and they can see the growth where they've come from, being sort of outside of Sydney and whatnot.
Sometimes I feel like it's unfair to the local people. They won't get into the market because interstate buyers could easily get their existing equity from their property and to invest a cheaper property, I guess, in Brisbane, whereas local people do not have that advantage.
No, but we do get a bit of frustration when we ring back, you sort of missed out, someone else purchased it. Sometimes they ask us, was it an interstate buyer that bought it? Yes, it was. They go, damn it, missed again. So, but interstate buyers sort of sometimes have buyers agents too up here, which we deal with, and they're quite savvy to sort of give them direction as well. So that's where we do deal with quite a few buyers agents. So basically, we get paid by the seller, and the buyer's agent gets paid by the client. So there are. The last few years, I've never seen so many buyer's agents. I might have known of one, but that's about all. But now there's heaps. But we can't communicate with them all. We sort of
that's right.
We communicate with 2 or 3 or something if that we like, and we sort of say, look, I've got something coming on first open home. And
If buyer's agent comes along, and do you sort of give more preference to the buyer agent towards with the other buyers?
That's me. Not always. Because we try to sort of
give everyone a fair go.
Because look, sometimes with buyers agents, if it doesn't go to market, you don't know you're getting the true value of the property.
That's right.
So if you don't go to the market, then are you sure we're getting the best price for it?
So most of the time we're going to the market.
Unless the sellers, they might have a tenant in there they don't want to disturb, or there might be situations where they don't want to go to market. So if you've got someone, bring them through, because they don't want to physically go to the market, or want people to sort of, be walking through their house and knowing their business. So sometimes with that in mind, we might look at sort of introducing a buyer to the property. If there's, if we've got someone right on hand and they're willing to pay a good price, we may show them through prior to going to market if they're under the seller's instructions. But we find it best to go to market where we can.
Yeah, but otherwise, like say for example, if this house buyer's agent come along, it would be same as the ordinary buyers, I would say. Is that right?
Yeah. So definitely, they will sort of make a recommendation to their client to purchase and give them sort of some direction towards what's a fair price. Just an offer to be laid out. So the buyer's agent usually a bit more educated to the marketplace. They do a lot of research as well. So and they usually can organise the buyer's finance, so they know their finance. That's part of what they do. But I guess with your knowledge and your understanding of and being an avid purchaser of investment properties, maybe it's something you can do for your clients.
Maybe in the future. About it.
Well, it's something there. I mean, it's just the ability to sort of understand and know and people to know and trust you. So
that's right.
That's where.
I guess it's more of buying properties to ask the right question to get the right information.
Definitely.
So what do you think most buyers ask questions that they should ask but they don't ask?
Look, I think for one, the agent needs to know a little bit of history. So if we're getting multiple offers, it's good for the agent to know, we're a young family, first home buyers. Because some sellers go, well, we were a first home buyer, we had a young family, we'd like to sell it to them over someone else who's an investor. So telling a story can sometimes help. Asking the questions like, when will the offers be presented, or are you holding off, or will we get an opportunity to increase our offer? Those sort of questions. Because you need to know, have an understanding if it's going to be a one-off, or if the agent will come back to you.
That's right.
Because if you don't know if they're not going to come back to you, all you do is you're going to get a text or a phone call, or not at all. Some agents, unfortunately,
that's right.
Some agents don't even ring people back.
So busy,
So I had to ring quite a few people back the other night when you were successful, and they're going, thank you so much for ringing up.
I had a feeling because it was taking longer than 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I thought I might be the last person Bruce is going to ring me.
So
that was right.
You're right. So, but a lot of agents don't ring their clients, and if they miss out, which I think is a bit disappointing for buyers, because then they, it's not a way to be treated.
That's right. So you find like 26 group of people who actually made an offer. They don't. Most of them don't ask these questions, or
a lot don't.
A lot don't.
No, a lot don't. But some do. But you're probably in the top 10% of people that ask. You're thorough with your questions. So I definitely share that information of what you've done.
Definitely towards more of the buyers who are more interested and asking the right questions.
Definitely. Because that shows you're interested.
And genuine.
And also putting a decent deposit down as far as an initial deposit and a bigger deposit. You're happy to put a bigger deposit down. Which is
I haven't actually never asked the deposit.
Oh that's what we discussed it that night.
I just thought like whatever you say, I'll just do that.
So we did that. But no, some people put big deposits down too. So be aware that putting a reasonable deposit down does show the agent that there's goodwill and saying, look, I'm pre-approved, I've spoken with the bank. If people aren't in a cash position like yourself, either providing the agent with, if they requested, a copy of their pre-approval letter, or suggesting that you do have one. And saying, look, I am pre-approved, because what the agent wants to know is they're selling the property to someone that can complete, and it's not going to take the house off the market. Because in Queensland, it's 2 or 3 weeks finance, generally.
It's much easier than New South Wales. You find that it's very harsh for buyers. So here, they can have 14 days or 21 days generally is acceptable, and then settle thereafter. But you don't want to take the property off the market, it's been on the market less than a week, and then wait 21 days and you go, I haven't got finance. So you do, the agent does want to sort of, because then the sellers lose momentum, and then have to start again. So, because a lot of the times it's not always backup contracts put on properties. It's depending on the agent, really. When it comes down to the inspection for the property, I guess what are the most important things for buyers to be aware of?
The building and pest inspection?
Yeah.
Oh, look, As long as you've got someone that either you refer to or it's good to have a good communicator.
Yeah.
Not someone that's going to go around and just pick all the faults, because every home is usually has faults, and you want just to make sure that there's no termites in the ceiling.
Yeah.
There's no structural flaws.
That's right.
Yeah, that most things are working on the property, and it's just a real visual, so it just gives that comfortable. Because when I bought my first property in '95, on the contracts there was no building and pest clause. That came later.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so there's no building and pest clause, so if I chose to do one, get a builder in, that would be up to me, and have to be a special condition. But now it's part of the special conditions just to put the date in should you wish to do one.
Yeah, that's part of the standard clauses.
Yeah, that came in the 2000s. Sometimes if the buyers can't be there, the seller, the building pest guy will go around the whole property, and you get all these little all these things in black and white, and you go, it sounds really scary. Whereas if you're here in person, you go, normal wear and tear, things like that. Like
it's really scary when you look at the building and pest report.
Really scary. Whereas you have to take it with a grain of salt, because they've got to cover their asses.
Yeah.
So they've got to be, point every little thing out. But sometimes as a buyer, because in Queensland it's buyer beware, so you do your building and pest.
Yeah.
In Sydney and Melbourne, I think they have to provide these reports, so you have to read them before you purchase. Yeah. It's different. So there's something to be taken with, because I've had many instances where a building pest guy comes in and they read it, and then they walk away, and then the next guy comes in, buyer show up, and go, oh, yes, fair wear and tear, sign it off, sold, and they've missed out the perfectly good property. Yeah. Anyway, our building pest chaps arrived, so we're going to finish off. Cool. So Daniel, really nice chatting.
Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it. That's all the key secrets of property sales and purchase shared to me by Bruce and now to you. Before I finish off this video, as promised, I'm going to show you how I actually asked the owner of this property to reduce the final sales price for $10,000. That's right, $10,000. That's where due diligence kicks in. Very important during the property purchase process. That's why you always want to do building and pest inspections for any property you purchase, particularly in Queensland. Most importantly and preferably, you want to have this building and pest inspection as a condition to form part of your purchase contract, so that it has to be satisfied by yourself to be able to continue with this purchase. Otherwise, you can terminate the contract. General process is this. By the way, I went through the same process. So you as the buyer put a purchase price offer to the sales agent. If it was accepted, he or she will organize contract signing between yourself and the owner of the property. Once the contract has been signed, you normally will have 5 or 7 days for cooling off period, which means you can do a due diligence check. That's where you do your building and pest inspections, including organizing your finances. And if you find 5 or 7 days is not sufficient for you under any circumstances, you can always ask for time extension. Normally, it will be considered. So in this property purchase, after signing the contract, I engaged a local building and pest inspection company to do all the due diligence check, and some of the invisible defects have been found and they were unexpected. So I was able to use some of them to negotiate with the owner of the property to reduce the final sales contract price by $10,000. Rather than having the owner to spend X amount of dollars to fix those issues, I chose the option of a price reduction by $10,000, which has been agreed by the owner and myself, so that this condition of the contract has been satisfied, so that my purchase of this property will continue till the settlement of this property. In summary, if there has any invisible or unexpected defects have been found during the process of a building and pest inspection, you can always negotiate with the owner of the property, asking them to fix those issues at their expenses, or you can ask for a price reduction accordingly. If either of these two can be satisfied or agreed by yourself and the owner of the property, you can continue with the purchase of this property till settlement. Otherwise, you can terminate this contract without any obligations obliged. That's it for today's video. I'll see you next time.